for me, it's a competition. It's all about like proving something, proving people wrong. If somebody may do like 1 hour, I have to do like 3 hours. I have to do and do so that I do extra, so that I know that I'm fully ready. That whenever they call on me, I'm ready to deliver. I'm ready to do my job as a player.
Excellence is about standing, and excellence is a requirement for your dream to come true.
My first memory playing sport was back in the days when I was still young, in like a young student, like an athlete, because I grew up playing soccer. And back then in our church, we do have all this competition we do, where the youths come out to play like other churches and stuff. So as a young, boy who like love sports and love playing football, I was very young, like 10 years, 9 years, like. But because of my height, I was different from my age range. So that particular period, I was always used to play street football, like playing street football, like the Falcons. So, but that particular day, we were playing like a big league match, and one of the major player got injured, and we were there, and they were looking for players to replace him because they didn't have anybody. Everybody was unavailable. So they were like, "Oh, you play football, you big, don't worry, just come in." And they just put me inside, and they put me inside, and we were like, they were playing 1-1, and I happened to score the winning goal because they put me inside. They were like, I can't stay back because they are scared of people handling me, like, so they put me. So some kind of way it just happened, and one of the players saw me. I was running, and I was kind of open. I made myself available, and he crossed the ball, and I nodded inside, and we scored the winning goal, and we won the cup. And ever since then, that was like sports just became like, it became a big thing for me. Like I'm going to be like, they saw me like the hero, like, oh, this is if I go through the line, because I did pretty well in the game technically, because they were like me playing young boy like this, playing with adults who are like way stronger and way bigger than me. It's just like the Europa, like Yamal playing with, playing the Europa Cup, and they were like, this small boy, what does he? But that was what like kind of motivated me when it comes to sports. I
Nice.
didn't even know I was going to play football.
So when you say football, do you really mean the football, or the soccer?
I mean, the soccer, that it was
Okay.
one thing that led to another thing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. So you were born and raised in Nigeria, or you also spent some time in Ghana. Is that right?
yeah. I was born and raised in Nigeria,
Okay.
so grew up playing soccer.
And
Then as
there,
my height,
what is the national sport there? I think you played basketball and soccer, but I think soccer is probably much
yeah,
bigger, and that's where.
soccer is pretty major for us. Like soccer, then basketball, then volleyball with others like rugby and other stuff. But football is not really like American football is not really like a thing in Nigeria. It's a new something that started coming into Nigeria. So, but and it was introduced by Ejike Ubaja, the former retired NBA player. Ejike Ubaja. So he always come back to do like a camp for athletes, like just to give back that, to give them scholarship to come better their life abroad and to take care of the family. So as time goes on, I didn't know about the camp. It was later on that I found out about the camp. So, but I'm already used to playing soccer, and when my height started surfacing, I started playing basketball. So when I found out about the camp, I kind of went for basketball for the camp, and all the time I've been like, making it to the All Stars every year by year. But because of how it's difficult paying, like when I even got some scholarship, but because of how difficult it is to get money for the visa fee to go pay for the visa fee, and you're not guaranteed if you're going to get the visa. So it kind of like, weird because it's so much money. It's a lot of money back then growing up, like when they're talking about 75,000 in Naira. So getting that kind of money and going to pay for an appointment, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the visa is a whole different lot of things. So I was just hoping one day, somebody was able to, because I could not make that money. I could not get the money, even though I was doing like a side hustle, but I was not making as much as that to kind of pay for that, to sacrifice that kind of money, and not end up getting the visa. So that particular period was just when that was 2019/2020, when HKM came as usual every year as he normally does. So he brought SMU, the SMU college in the state. So they came to give impact. Like, he brought some of the coaches because one of the players, Valentine Okeke, huge, he took to the state. He went there through basketball, but the school decided to change him and put him in football. So that gave him the idea, like, okay, yeah, since it's like that, why not bring it back home? So he decided to invite SMU, and SMU came that period. That was my ever first time seeing what they call like the first video I saw about American football was the greatest hit in football, and I just loved it. I was like, yeah, this is for me. I was just seeing the way they were like pancaking people, like just giving people like the passports. I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So we were among some of us were selected from the All Stars. Those that made it to the All Stars, and they selected one side, and they taught us all. They taught us was like the basic stance, trying to see how athletic would be, like the Elcondres, like you're doing combined. They were just doing those few things, just showing us like basics, like as if you're teaching like a kindergarten, like basics about football. So they left and they asked us to keep working. So because of we didn't have any coaches or no field or by anything that has our knowledge about football, we went into YouTube. That was when we started watching YouTube, going to YouTube to watch all the YouTube how to play football and going to practice on our own. We didn't have pad, we were just running into ourselves like body contact, full body, and we were going full speed, just running. If you fall, you feel you're soft. So nobody was trying to fall. So we were just practicing, going to YouTube, watch YouTube, whatever you learn, you bring it. The day we'll have like an allocated day, like a Saturday or Friday where we come together during our free days. That's we're not like doing anything and we just come on Sunday when it's like off days, like and just come like practice. We go to the field in grass and we just draw like line, use like chalks to mark like the field line and we just do our thing and
That's that's
it was going well.
when was what year was it that you were watching those YouTube videos? You said
That
what
was
year?
that was 2019/2020.
Wow,
So it was
crazy.
just after the camp of 2019, it was just watching YouTube and practicing on our own.
Insane.
Even when we were doing it, people were like, "Are you guys okay? Go get a job. Go do something better with your life. Who does football?" Like no one believed in us. No one believed it was gonna ever possible. Like they saw us as if it was a waste of time. They were like,
How
"Are
many
your
players?
parents?"
How many Nigerian players do you think, if you know the number before you, how many of them made American football their job in the history of Nigeria? Probably like a handful max, or not even one.
Yeah, most Nigerian players who we have like a mouthful of Nigerians in the league, but most of them were people who grew up in the States.
Okay,
Unlike us, we didn't grow up in the States. We just had to find out like at the later stage, when we were almost done with school. But back here, most of them grew up, so they played high school, they played college, and they went to the league. But we were kind of like our set and our era was kind of like the first set to come directly from Nigeria straight to the league.
crazy.
So like, it were like three of us. So we were kind of like I think that was 2020 plus 2021 when OC Minora was invited. It was HK friend. So OC Minora came to Nigeria and he kind of like did like this combine an open camp for athletes. So those both soccer players, basketball players, and us that have like a bit knowledge of what football is. So we all came together. We were 96 in that camp that came for that camp. So when we came together, the camp lasted for 1 week. And after the full camp, three of us were selected from the 96 people that came to that camp by Osim Nora with Ejike Obaja. We were selected, and when we got selected, we got invited to London 2021. When we got invited to London 2021, Then we went for the combine in London, and I think we were 47 in that combine. Is that 47 or 46 in that combine from the whole country that plays American football internationally? Then after that combine, I think six of us were selected from the combine. The three of us that came from Nigeria that were invited from Nigeria for the combine, and some other three guys were selected. Then we got invited to the States 2022. 2022. So we came to States 2022. The first time of me coming to the States 2022 was January, and we arrived here I think 30th of January 2022. So we did like by the international player pathway, the NFL international player pathway. There's a program that was selected by the NFL to give opportunity to international players to come play in the league. They don't have the opportunities like those that are in America, you know. So it was a very, very good opportunity for us. So by the grace of God, we were able to like, you know, do the best we could do and just keep fighting. It was tough because playing with people who have knowledge already, who have played high school and college, it was not really there. But in my mind, I'm like, this is what I'm born to do. There's no way, like, you know, I have no excuse. There's no room for failure for us because a lot of people are looking up to us, and a lot of people never, they doubted us. So my dad will always tell me something. He says, the best way the best way to show your haters or to show people who never believe in you is by being successful in that particular thing that they never believed in you. So when my dad told me that, that still has always stuck with me. So I feel like whenever I go to anything, I feel like my best way to prove to people is being successful in that particular thing and tell people that it is possible. When you dream something, it's possible. And when you dream big, it's this once you walk towards it and put it in God, everything's gonna come out the way it's supposed to be. So that has been my kind of like, you know, motive and pushing myself, like, you know, the fire that was burning me. Like, so when we came to America for the first time, that was actually the first time in my whole life that I had a proper coach, a proper field, a proper knowledge about football. And it took me 10 weeks when we did the camp in Arizona, because we came to Arizona, the camp was done in Arizona. It was for 10 weeks to prepare us for the selection that's going to happen, you know. So everything technically I learned about football officially was in 10 weeks in Arizona, in Lee Charles Bentley's facility in AMTG in Arizona there. So they taught us everything about football. They kind of choose position for us because then we didn't really have position. We were just playing. I was playing defense, offense, tight end, receiver. I was just doing everything possible. So there was no really like a particular position. They just look at how we do it back there. It's just like, oh, you big. These people are big. The linemen are big. So you be offense today or you be D line today. So that's how we just do it, like, you know. But when we came to the States, they saw us, analyzed us, and was like, okay, you're gonna do offense. You're gonna be like a tackle. Then they explain the position. That was when I understood the positioning and then the O lineman, the D line position, the receivers position, everything properly. Then I was like, oh, this is for me. Okay, let me play. Then I started playing offensive tackle, left tackle with the still like with the guard position. I was learning it, and I learned everything in 10 weeks. So before the allocation period, when draft is going on, so before I could get allocated, I was not allocated. Before I could get allocated, the first guy got allocated to New York Giant, the person of Roy Chibo Beteka. Then I was the second person. I got allocated to the Arizona Cardinals. Then the third guy, he got Arizona Kenny Ogini. He got allocated to the Kansas Chiefs. Before the allocation of the IPP, before the allocation, final allocation, we already signed. We got signed to three different clubs, the three of us that came from Nigeria. So it was a breakthrough, and it was an eye opener for a lot of people because people who had never believed that it was possible and thought we were like joking. At that point in time when it happened, I started getting mails, I started getting emails, I started getting messages from all social media like people have been happy for me and people now are working. It kind of motivated people now to want to work. That if we who from nothing could make it to that place, it's possible for them to do. So it was like At the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel for them. That, oh, there's light in this channel because no one believed it was possible. So when we made it to the clubs, it was like a dream come true. It was like a blessing. Like, you need to see, like, people now were just like, oh, so this is real. This is not like stories as we hear. It's real because this is someone we know. This is people we know. We grew up together, and it's in the league. Not people that they grew up in America and they end up playing this. This is someone that grew up in the hood with us. This is our own brother that we know right from that. We know how it is. And now he's in the league. Oh no, then we need to start working. So everybody's working now. Everybody's picking interest in American football because of what we're able to like scale through to get to that to that place.
Nice.
So
Were you when
after
you
the pre
when the three of you signed? Sorry, I'm cutting you. Maybe there's a small
yeah,
gap in the voice. When you guys, you
mhm,
three, signed with the three different teams, were you the first three Nigerians born and raised in Nigeria to actually get an NHL contract?
yes,
Okay,
to like
that's
actually the
pretty
first
interesting.
alma maters to
Yeah, that's what was an eye opener. You said to the people back home that you could actually be born, be raised in Nigeria, and start playing there, and then export yourself. You didn't have to be born in the US to make it to the NFL, right?
that's true. That is exactly like yeah. So it was like for us like it was like being the alma maters to be like the first people to be drafted directly from Nigeria straight to the league. It was a blessing and a dream come true, like and an eye opener for Nigerians that American football is real. It's a big time thing, and there's light in it, and there's a lot of opportunity to give, back to your people and to make your life and your parents' life better, like, to give them a better life from the NFL. Because nobody really, when it comes to sport in Nigeria, it's all about soccer, it's all about basketball, and the one we know. But football now is now becoming something in Nigeria now. A lot of people are picking interest, in as much as most times it's mostly like a flag because it's not really like the right amenities, the right facility, the right coaching staff to help facilitate and to coach people. Because if you're talking of talents, there are a lot of great talents back in Nigeria, like strong, great talent who are like, built naturally without even, but the opportunity to, to want to like to showcase themselves is what is hard, it's difficult, it's not there. But we are so opportunity by the grace of God to find ourselves lucky enough, through the camp, through the help of Osi Minora and Ejike Obaja to be able to, to get the opportunity to come show the world that, yeah, we could also be among, those who like, it's not by anywhere you find yourself, like, it's all about putting the consistencies and putting the hard work. It's possible for you to like, so yeah, we try our best.
So this happened, you said, in the span of 3 years, pretty much. You started watching videos on YouTube in 2019. You get the first contract with the Cardinals in 2022. So there's like 3 years going from pretty much knowing nothing and have never touched American football to actually signing a contract. So there is a lot of, like you said before, like raw talent, probably in Nigeria and maybe in other places in Africa as well. Um, Between 2019 and 2022, it was probably purely your talent, you and your um, friends, the other guys that went to the NFL. It was probably only talent that brought you there. You said you're physically built probably for the sports. Have you felt after that you actually needed the work behind it, the discipline, and just getting not just the talent that you have naturally in yourself and your body, but also like getting to know the game, getting to know just also building your mental and all that? Is that something that in the past 2 years you have had to focus more on?
Yeah, so far so good. It's been a really tough journey because it's there's a lot to be learned. We're still a work in progress. It's not like as if we're there yet. Like, no, we still they still have a lot to learn because this is my third year in the league with this thing. But every year, even when I moved from Arizona Cardinals to Denver and I switched position from offense to defense, I learned a whole lot of different things. A lot of different things that I didn't know the previous year. Even this year, my third year now, I've learned a lot of things with the Washington Commanders that I never knew before. So it's a gradual process. It's a work in progress. It's just have to believe the process and keep studying because it takes a lot of study. Because especially for us, it's different because other people who have played high school, college, they have a knowledge of it, and it's all about muscle memory. When they come to the league, it's kind of easier for them because they have one or two things that it's just same thing to what they have been doing, but just like a little bit of modification compared to what they are used to, Maybe defenders, maybe a little bit of changes they're going to change, but this is something they have been doing. Their body is used to it. Our body is not used to that. We don't even understand how, like, the recovery process. Now I have to learn how to know how to work on my body to keep my body going. The recovery process outside the field, what to do, not when I'm in the facility, what to like routines, how to start working on getting routines for myself to help build my body so that I'm able to like withstand whatever situation I find myself or to get my body ready right for the this thing because and when it comes to study, knowing the playbooks, I have to do extra hour. If other people are doing maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes, and they pick the stuff, they already know what it is. It takes me like we have to do extra because I can't compare myself with them. Because for me, it's a competition. It's all about like proving something, proving people wrong, and showing that yes, we are also part of it and we could do it. We could do it, making it possible, putting it there that oh yeah, just put me in the right direction, I will get it done. It's all about like so we do extra work. So maybe when I come back 7 and I like kind of 8, maybe if somebody may do like 1 hour, I have to do like 3 hours. I have to do and do so that I do extra, so that I know that I'm fully ready. That whenever they call on me, I'm ready to deliver. I'm ready to do my job as a player. So in order not to like forge out to give, because there's no room for excuse. It doesn't really matter even if I didn't play high school or college. It's all about now I am here. What should I do to make sure that I stay here, I remain here, and do my job as a player because that is what I'm meant to do. So there's no excuse of oh I've never been this or now. It's all about getting it done and how should I get it done? Extra studies, the extra work outside the facility, the extra routine of like getting your body right, massage and all those automatics, politis and all the stuff, extra work. It's all about the extra work and listening, getting yourself because it's in as much as it could be very challenging and mentally because sometimes you get so overwhelmed with too much study that when too many information is coming to your head all at once, it becomes like so much for the body that you have to like take your time like to break down. So sometimes I try to call one or two people who give you advice on like who has been in the league and they're like, oh, try to do this, you have to give yourself a break. It's not about work. So the body has to rest too. Enough resting time, enough thing to distract you a little bit for football to get your body right. Then you go back to football when you're on football. So it's so much. I didn't know there was so much when it comes to like being a player because I thought it was just go to the field, just go hit somebody or do something. Nah, there's so much more when it comes to not just being on the field or putting on a jersey and playing. There's a lot of work outside the field, and that is the most important one that people really do not see or understand. There's a sacrifice. There's a lot of sacrifice to be made. Oh, I gotta eat right. This is I love to eat this kind of junk food or something. Now I have to start eating right for my body to be right. I have to start drinking right. I have to start drinking the right proper amount of water to stay hydrated. I have to learn how to get knowledge of staying hydrated, they eating the right balanced diet, eating like things to give my body the particular electrolyte or whatever stuff that the body needs to keep fit to get himself ready for whatever game or whatever practice. I have to now learn how to prepare myself like knowing when to wake up, when to go to bed, so that I can wake up strong enough to be ready for that day. So there's so much work outside even being in the facility or being in the field that you put in order to it's like a movie. When we watch a movie, we just seeing the movie, how beautiful, oh, it's a nice movie. But every scene, there are particular scenes that could be acted like 5, 6, 7 times for it to actually come out to be what it is that we see and we admire. So that is just how it is. Repetition of reps, both mentally, both physically. When you are taking your reps, you're having your reps, you're taking it, you are repeating it so that the body gets used to that particular rep. You are repeating the calls in your head, so your body, your mindset is programmed with that particular call and that rep. And it's all about the more you do it, the more you get better. Because Bruce Lee said something: I do not fear a man who has practiced 10,000 kicks 10,000 times, but I fear the man who practiced one particular kick, one particular move 10,000 times. So it's all about repetition of things you are doing so that the body gets used to it and it's like muscle memory for you. So when you find yourself in that particular thing, this is what the body is used to. So you naturally go and execute what the body has been doing. So that is just
Mhm.
how it is.
And you mentioned it many times that you are putting two times or three times as much effort as the standard player would, because you're basically catching up for the 19 or 21st years of your life when you didn't practice football. Many, if not all of the players in the NFL started football super young, probably had family in football. They went to high school, college, everything. So they have that background. They have these years of experience. Do you? So two questions about that. Do you, first of all, see that this gap is slowly but surely, with all the extra work that you put in, slowly but surely getting smaller, and you're getting basically recovering all the stuff that you didn't know before and getting there, whether it's physically knowing the game, the mental aspect, the discipline in your daily life. And the second question is, as you came in to the league or just started, being around players and staff and all that, did you feel some sort of rejection at the beginning because you had not followed the standard path of doing 15 years of football and then getting to high school, college, and all that? Did you feel that like a rejection, or did you have a hard time getting along with the other guys involved in the sports in general?
So with the first question, it's kind of like for me now, I would say my level of confidence in this game has maximally like it has increased drastically compared to when I started. My level of confidence compared to when I started the beginning, my second year and my third year is different. Now I'm more confident in myself, I'm more confident in my routine, I'm more confident to some extent. So now my body is already naturally, because it's used to this particular thing, I'm not more anxious of making mistakes. Now I know mistake is not, it's not being like failure, it's just another step of trying. So like I've gotten used to like trying to some extent. When I make a mistake previously, I'm so occupied with that mistake. I'm like, damn, and it makes me now lose focus in the next thing. So now I've gotten used to, when I make a mistake, I just, it has happened. I move to the next one and I try to do better in the next one and not letting my mistake like weigh me back or delay me from getting better. So it's there's a lot of improvement compared to, because when I watch my videos from when I started to now, oh, there's a lot of improvement. And it's funny, you don't see the kind of improvement you do or you have gotten, or how far you have gotten to, until you go back to where you started and you watch from what you have seen, whatever you have done. But when I go back to my previous videos, when I started, even from when I started learning how to do my stance 2022, and now see myself now, I'm like, oh yeah, it's progress. And it's just about believing in process. Everything will come in line, and that's how we work it. Then with your second question, yes, technically, my first year, there was yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I had so much help that, and I was lucky to find myself in a very good environment where people were ready to help me. Like my teammates were ready to like some of my teammates were ready to like support me, while some were seeing it like, look at you, what are you feel like, just from nothing you want to come like drag, like feeling like as if it's a competition between you, and then like, I'm coming from nothing, I'm coming to take them there, I've been working their ass from high school, college, but at the end of the day, you don't let those kind of stuff, negative stuff, get into your head and impact you, make you like feel like, oh, you're not worthy to be there. No, everybody's worthy. It's a sport for everyone. So it's all about your ability and what you can perform, what you can put on the table, what you can bring to the team. It's all about doing your job. It's a job for everybody. So it doesn't really matter, oh, you've started this, how you started now. it's a relay for everybody. It's you everybody do your own part, So yeah, some people felt like I'm not supposed to be there. That it's not that this is like a cheating, like. But at the end of the day, I just find a way, like, from advices and listen to blank out all the negative thoughts and words coming from players who felt that I'm not worthy of it. And I try to work with players and I try to make friends with those who doesn't discriminate and like they are ready to help you, and grow. And I work with people who are more than me, that I know that have more knowledge than me in this particular area, and I work with them and they help me. They're ready to like help me like grow, and that kind of helped me for like when it comes to the challenges of people. So yeah, at the beginning it was there, but right now I'm like already like used to it. So yeah.
You've proven you've been here 2 years now. You're starting your third year, so whoever was saying whatever when you came in, now that you've been here a third year, there's nothing else to say that well you're still here and you're getting better. So there's just proving your point or proving yourself by still being here, which is something in the NFL. People don't last super long in general. And where do you stand now? Where do you feel your where do you feel you're standing compared to the other players, the competition or your teammates? You signed with the Washington Commanders a few month ago. So how do you see the season coming? And yeah, what do you think you still have to learn to be, a non-negotiable player? I mean, a player that has his stand on the field.
Yeah, for me right now, my major work ethics right now is trying to be the player they want me to be. Just trying to be, first of all, to be coachable enough to be make sure that it's not from my own part. Like I should not fail from my own part, knowing my job, knowing my place, knowing my style, knowing the right thing I'm supposed to do. Like I'm being available to be used, and making sure I do my own part of getting my body ready, my body's right. I'm mentally prepared, I'm physically prepared, and ready to do my job whenever I'm being called upon to do it. So it's all about me doing my job at the end of the day. So this is what they brought me to do. So I'm here to do my job, and I'm going to try everything possible to make sure I'm ready whenever I'm being called upon to to do my job, so that I have no excuse. It should not come from me. It should be something that, oh, maybe something happened and the organization decide, but not because of my own inability to want to do what I'm supposed to do now. So that is my main focus right now, is trying to be coachable, to keep learning and keep getting better, and making sure that with the collective effort, with my own effort, contribution, making the team better. Because at the end of the day, it's all about making the team better. It's all about being good and it's all about doing your job. So yeah, and technically I find myself in a very great environment because everyone seems good here. Everyone is goal driven. Everyone is success driven, which is very, very good. When you find yourself among greatness, people who think with great mindset, it makes you have that also mentality of like, oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to be, having that love and brotherhood. So they say when you find yourself, when you have seven rich friends, you have five rich friends, and you are the sixth rich friend, and you go about with the five rich friends, you become the sixth rich friend. Because when you associate yourself with greatness, with people who are intelligent, who are this, you become the next intelligent person. When you associate yourself with who are talented, you associate yourself with the friends who, like five friends who are talented, you become the sixth talented person. So when I feel like this is how I think, when I associate myself with people who have great virtue, who have great knowledge, the coaches are great, amazing coaches. We have great, amazing organization right now who are ready to work and who are ready to impact their knowledge on players, and they take the players like, not just, they see it not just like a job, they see it like this is family for us. We have to do the best. And one thing I know for a fact, a team that plays together, like brotherhood, wins game together. So that is the most important goal, like staying together, playing together, and achieving the goal together.
Yeah, there's one thing that very much resonates with me. What you just said before is when you surround yourself with talented people or smart people or funny people, whatever it is, you end up, if these are positive traits, of course, you end up just absorbing that and making those traits your own. Who are those people that you look up to and that you surround yourself with, whether they be like players, staff, or just outside of football people that bring you up and make you a better person and better player on a daily basis?
Yeah, coach wise, it depends on like one thing I try to do for myself is wherever I find myself or wherever I am, I try to find people who are knowledgeable to that extent that could impact on me and could help me grow, and who are ready to tell me the truth and not try to paint me look like trying to like, or who are going to be real with you. When you're doing wrong, they correct you with love. They tell you that this thing is not trying to like, oh, you just keep quiet and let you do your thing, but they are ready to tell you the truth. Like, because my dad will say something, open rebuke is better than pretending love. I would rather rebuke you and tell you that this particular thing you do is trash. So you work on yourself and get better than tell you, oh, good job, more, let's try more. No, it's not helping you. Trying to pet you to something is not going to help you. Or you open rebuke the person and tell the person, oh no, you have to work hard. You have to do this. This is not what is expected of you. You have a lot of talent. You should be this and that. Yeah. So I like to work with people like that. So whenever I find myself, like if I go back to Arizona, I like to go to work with like in the Charles Bentley facility because they push you to be great. They push you to be one of like they bring out that part you feel you don't have. They try to push you to see your elastic limits, like to know where your ending point is, to try to see where you could gauge your gauge is. They push you to want to succeed. And when you're seeing other people doing that, you motivated to want to do it. Now with my team, I'm just blessed to be in a very, very good defensive line team. And everyone there, Daryl Payne, Allen, AJ, Clay, great athletes whose success for them is like a big deal. Who's, trying to make it happen is like a big deal. Who are big on brotherhood. I work most sometimes with Payne during this off season, this break we are. He has taught me a lot. And he's just one strong beast that he has his brotherhood something. He takes you as his brother. He's always ready to help you. Whenever you walk up to him to ask him, he's always ready to tell you, you know, Alan, dear, even the coaches, they are ready to like, whenever you call them, no matter the time, they will tell you, when you text them, they reply you, they tell you, oh, do it like this, do it like this. This is positive, this thing. They are ready to teach you. They are ready to make sure that you become that particular person you are meant to be. And that is a good environment to be as far as I'm concerned.
Amazing. Amazing. Looking back 5 years, you had a hell of a journey in those last 5 years. What do you see coming in the next 5 years, and how do you work on? How do you think you can replicate those 5 years of amazing journey and make another 5 years as amazing as the previous ones?
And just like I said, so far so good. Where I see myself in this, I just feel like when I believe in the process, whatever that is ahead for me is gonna come to be. Whatever that is meant for me is gonna be. It's just about believing in the process and not try to cheat it. Don't try to cheat the process. Just follow the due process. Whatever you've been told to do, follow the right coaching system, follow your right routine, know the right thing to do. And when you follow the right thing is going to come to you. That's for sure. When you're doing the right thing, following the process, the right thing is going to come for you. There's always a result at the end of the day. There's a result for hard work. The hard work always pays off. That's one thing I know. Hard work always pays off, no matter what. So it's all about believing in yourself because you are your greatest enemy. When you don't believe in yourself, there's no way anybody can tell you anything that will make you want to think different. But when you believe in yourself, first of all, and you know you could do it, because people who are doing don't have two heads. They have just one head like you. They have the same body like you. If they could do it, why can't I do it? So if you believe in yourself first is to convince yourself that yes, it is possible and I can do it. You then secondly you walk towards it. When you walk towards it, putting the hard work, putting in the work. When you put the work and making yourself available to be coached properly, making yourself available to the right people, then attaching yourself with the right people who are going to contribute in making you, successful in life, not the wrong people. They are friends who, you know, they can withdraw you back. You have to be careful the kind of friends you make too, because the kind of friends you make you can delay you or can draw you back without even you knowing. Yes, they're your friends, but you have to know how to differentiate your friends. There are those who are goal driven. There are those who are just there to do luxurious life. You have to know what you want as a person, as a player, and then associate yourself with person. And you have to like, because one thing that I always see myself is when I'm looking at something, I'm like, who has been there, who has played that particular league, who has played that particular position for 10 years, what has he achieved? What has he done for himself? That is how I want to do. So before I choose to do something, I look and say, okay, like when I look to people like Chris Jones, I look like Chris Jones, now he's doing well for himself. When I look like was Payne, who has been like 8 years in the league, he's doing well for himself. He drive nice cars. I want to do all those things. He take care of his family. He has no problem issue. I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do for myself. You align yourself with greatness and you'll be great. Just like I said, when you align yourself with greatness and you avail yourself to be taught, you swallow your pride and humble yourself and make sure that you're taking correction and you are taking accountability when you know you're wrong, you know you're wrong. There's a difference. Some people don't know how to take accountability. But when you know how to take correction, you will become great because you learn from your mistakes and it's a gradual process. So all I'm going to say is it's all about following the due process, believing in myself, and leave the rest for God. Because I'm a very big firm believer of like God. I pray hard, and I try to like when I pray hard, I walk my ass out, try to put in the work, and I pray hard, and I leave the remaining one. Everything's gonna come in play according to the way it's supposed to be, and that's how it is for me.
It's amazing. I love your energy and determination. It feels like you know where you're going without having like a goal of making to a team or like no stat oriented goal. It's very much about like you said so many times the process, trusting yourself, being flexible, learning, and if you always want to excel and put in the work to excel, you'll end up excelling whatever happens on your way. So it's amazing. It's so invigorating in a sense and so energizing, especially now. Uh, Doing the recording just before the weekend, I was getting tired before the call because it was a long week, and now I'm like I could just start a new week right now just hearing you speak. So thank you so much for sharing all this insight. Um,
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
um, don't want to take more of your time. I think you start camp next week, right? So that's why we kind of rushed a bit to record because after that you'll be probably busy and just
Yeah,
having to take care of your body and learning a lot of stuff, especially with that new team. So, um, one thing you're being more visible, also maybe on social media. Are you active? Is that something that you work on, or is it more are you more like discreet on the internet in general?
yeah. When it comes to internet in general, there's a lot of things. Before I started football, I used to be like somebody who is just being on Instagram watching reels or just like like TikTok, like just do my thing. But right now, you can't serve two masters at the same time because social media, in a way, is like it's time taking, and it's a lot of distraction in social media too. So it's difficult to some extent because trying to manage your social media life and your career, but just like I said, you can't serve two masters. One has to come before one. So it's sometimes just like okay, I'm more of like, because if you look at it, when you're studying, you're in the field almost all the day, you're in the facility almost all the day, and you come back, you be too tired, you just want to rest and sleep, so there's hardly time for it. But maybe during off days, yeah, we try to like go to social media, just do one or two things, like, just let it not look like as if we live in it idle. But yeah, you just can't serve too much, so you have to focus on one and leave the remaining one. But yeah,
Definitely.
we do that a little bit, but yeah, it's more of like football for us.
Nice.
You know.
Do you or will you create videos and YouTube videos for people back to Nigeria so that they can use your video to learn playing football now?
Oh yeah, it's my dream and my like goal because if I feel like if it's not because of the opportunity that someone created for me, I would have not find myself here. So I feel like I've always like dreamed that when I finally settle down and make it like to the big stage, like I'm gonna create like a like a foundation. I'm gonna have like a foundation where like I do like camp, just like they did for me, to give back to my people because I'm a very strong believer in giving back to your community and giving back to the community like people like because right from when I was a kid, it's something my dad they know me with like my parents will give you like when they give you like all those little tip to go do something. My mom will tell me if you like one share it because I'm ready to give it to make somebody happy just to to put smile on people's face because that is just make what makes me happy. So definitely I'm gonna like if the opportunity arises when the time is right, I'm gonna like do things to want to help my people back because to open their eyes more to what it is to play football and how you could help you give your family a better life. Instead of like because truthfully, education is not really like for everyone. Yes, you study. It's good to have education, but everyone is just blessed in different ways. It's all about finding the right thing that works for you and how using it to your own potential to the betterment of your life, your family, and whoever that's coming ahead of you. So, I feel like football for me is like one of the basics to help me give back to my people and to enlighten my people more that this is what it is that is
Mhm.
beyond what we just see or hear. So yeah, definitely gonna do that.
You mentioned just before earlier about the game and all that on always listening to people, getting as much advice as you can to get better. So typically on the foundation slash football camp part, Benson Juice that I told you that is in your team that I talked to 2 weeks ago, he has, and we met at his football camp, so he might have a few advice, a few pieces of advice for building up a amazing foundation, also creating a camp. He is here in Montreal's camp, so you can probably take inspiration and advice and make your own when time allows. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Two
I'm
last
looking forward
questions
to that.
that are very recurring on the podcast. Usually, one is your story is probably amongst the is on the podium of the most amazing and quick stories for elite athletes. Who would be a person that you know? It could be football, could be another sport that you think has a story not like yours, but very interesting that would deserve to be heard by more people.
Well, my story like my boss, the person who like helped me, the person of Ejike Waja. His story is one. He's like one kind of crazy story. To he started like from the scratch, and he was the first person to be drafted directly from Nigeria to the NBA too. He's kind of like is kind of like a role model for me and Osi Minora too, who is like somebody who like has done so many great things and he's also Nigerian. Those are people like I look up to like the person like Lee Charles Bentley who has like really done things for themselves. But when I hear their story and I look up their story, yeah. Then apart from them, I always never forget my brothers, those who came together because we all have different stories. The person of Roy Mbeteka, Roy Chibombedeka and Kenny Ogini kind of, he just got back to the league too because he kind of like he dropped out because of his shoulder injury and now he's back in the league. He's plays with the Falcons. And the other one too, it's just so many stories. Like they have amazing stories that I know that when you hear it's worthy for people to hear because it's gonna like motivate people to like not give up on yourself. So I feel like yeah, these are things that we like how people like when they hear their story out there, it will help encourage a lot of younger ones that oh no, it's the life is the road, the journey is not easy, but it's just believing yourself and having that faith, having that positive mindset that yes, it's worth doing and it's gonna come out to be the way you want it to be and everything's gonna go well eventually.
Sweet. So I would love to hear their stories. So if you ever you talk to them and have a good word about the podcast, otherwise I'll try to reach out and we'll see if they are interested in spreading the word and talking about their history. Um,
Yeah, appreciate
last
it. Thank you so much.
last question is about that wall here that I mentioned you just before we started. It's my small project that I think is so fun. There's also a jersey that I had Benson Juice signing last a couple of weeks ago. Is there anything that you have in your apartment, a drawer, anything from your career that you could put a quick signature on and that I could hang on that wall?
Currently, I don't have anything right now because of the way I do, but definitely, let's say before the season runs out, I'm gonna like try and get something for you to like put on the wall so that when people see, they know that yes, that this is somebody who started from the scratch with nothing, no one to nothing to write home about when it comes to football, but it's actually in the league, so it doesn't really matter if you've played in the high school or not. It's if you already put in the work, it's possible for you to do it. So when you dream it, it's possible for you to do it. Just what you just have to do is believe in yourself and work towards it. Work towards it. That is it.
Perfect. So I'll make a special place. Whatever, whenever you find something, I'll find a special place for you to expose your story. I think, which deserves to be heard. Um, Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
Agai. I'm not football is not my number one sport. It's usually basketball, but I'm sure talking to Ben and talking to you now, just want to watch all the Commanders game next year, the upcoming season, and see you guys perform. Have fun and be your best self every time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. It's difficult. I know most times trying to be like this, getting time, trying to balance the timing with the players and everything, trying to avail yourself to make sure that you are. It's a lot of work. I know the kind of work putting in because I was kind of close with the camera crew 2022 when we came and I saw the kind of work they put in. It's not easy too, but yeah, just keep doing you and everything is gonna come out well.
Thank you so much, Agai. Wish you the very, very, very absolute best, and I hope we'll stay in touch. And I
Thank
hope
you.
one day I'll be able to come to Washington and just see you play and see you just be your
That would
best.
be nice. That would
Thank
be
you so
nice. Thank you
much.
so much.
Bye bye.